20 plus years experience in the IT industry. And so what is cloud? So before going to that cloud and DevOps, we should know what is cloud computing. It means renting the IT resources, servers, storage, database networking, so over the internet instead of owning the physical hardware. So so the earlier days, the companies, what they are going to do it, they are using their own data center, but they have to pay it the money and they should set up their own infrastructure. So it is going to be very tough for them. So that is why the cloud come into the picture. So think of it, it's like a electricity. You do not want build the power plant, you plug in and pay for what you are going to use it. That means so you need to just using. So you don't want to do any kind of set up all those things. The AWS cloud it is going to be just manage it. You need to just pay for what you are going to use it. So here there is a three models. So one is for IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So IaaS means it is an infrastructure as a model. Okay, you are going to just get the rent of the raw servers. So if the company they are having their own private data centers, they are not going to. They have to purchase it before any of the application releases. They have to set up it. But in the AWS cloud, so you are going to get the rent, you need to pay for that. That's it. And pass. So this is kind of a rent for the platform and runtime. This is kind of a elastic bean stack. So you are going to just, for example, the developers, they wanted to just upload the content. You wanted to access your Flipkart.com or Amazon.com, anything. So the developer, you will just develop the code and you will upload it and you can able to access it. That is how you can able to do it. Other one is SaaS. So what is this SaaS? So for example, you are going to use a Gmail, right? And Outlook and Facebook. So these are all the SaaS models. Okay. So here is the three models about cloud
Sir,
computing.
sir, can you please explain me once again what is PAA?
PaaS platform as a services, software
Okay,
as a services.
okay.
Okay. The full name.
Means example for PA, sir.
Yeah, see, PaaS, you do not, maybe you are not working in the cloud environment. There is a service called Elastic Beanstalks. So you are not going to manage it, your hardware, anything you are not going to, I don't want to manage it, anything. I want just upload my code. I wanted to access my data. That's it. Okay, for that, there is an example called Elastic Beanstalk, one
Okay.
of the services. And SaaS, you are already know it. Gmail is a SaaS environment.
Yes.
IS, I told you earlier, it is kind of a easy to resource, you are going to use it. Then, what are the things we are going to cover it? So, we are going to cover it AWS Cloud, Git and GitHub, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, Prometheus, and Grafana. I'm going to talk about all services next slide.
Sir,
So,
so these are
yeah,
all the means these are all the tools which you are going to cover in my whole session.
course,
Means in these two
exactly,
months. In these 2 months.
exactly.
Sir, may I know why means why you are not covering Azure instead of Azure you're covering AWS, right?
Exactly. So
Why not Azure, sir?
whatever you can use it, that is dependence in your. So your
Okay,
requirement
okay,
is AWS cloud, right?
okay,
That is why I'm using. Okay, if you want Azure also you can able to use it. What is the challenges in the Azure cloud means you will get only 1 month uh, free resources you can able to create it. But
okay,
AWS
okay, okay.
cloud you will get a 1 year access. So
Yes,
you
sir.
can do it whatever. But Azure is Azure and AWS it is same public cloud. Only thing is the services names it is going to be changed.
Okay, sir. Sir, and if I have interest, means after completing this AWS cloud
Okay.
tool, if I have interest in Azure,
Yeah.
you will explain, right?
Yeah, I'll explain it.
Okay, okay, okay.
But only
No.
for that, that is a separate course will be there.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, I got it, I got it, I got it, sir.
Okay. So most of the people they are not going to use it multi-cloud trainings because if you are already familiar with AWS cloud, you can able to learn it your own self, Azure also and Google also. and
Yes, yes.
IBM also, Oracle also. But
Okay.
focus on one cloud so that you will get to know. First, learn it for one cloud so that you will get to know all the services. It will be same, but little bit name changes. It is going to be changed.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Next slide is what I am showing here. So what is it? AWS. So AWS is the world's most comprehensive cloud platform with the 200 plus fully featured services and compute, storage, database, networking, ML, and AI, security, analytics, and more delivered from the AWS. I mean, 30 plus global regions. So I'm going to talk about what is this regions later. And here I'm just showing here, these are all the services, the AWS right now it is managed. Okay. I'm going to cover it EC2, S3, RDS, Lambda, VPC for your course only. Because
Okay,
these
sir.
are all the main focuses in the AWS. As a DevOps engineer, you should know all this mandatory. And
Okay.
why we are going to use it, how to use it. Okay, I'm going to talk about later. And if you wanted to talk about SLAs, for example, let me talk about on-prem. On-prem means you got it right, like their own data centers. The company they are
Yes.
using it, their own data center means their own servers. That we call it as their own data center. So sometimes if the power is breakdown, there is a downtime, right, in the on-prem.
Yes, yes.
So if they are coming to AWS, there is no downtime. So AWS will manage it everything. So that is why they have mentioned the SL is 99.99. So uptime is almost all they are giving 100%. Okay. And they are using already Netflix, NASA, Airbnb, Samsung. These are all the companies they are already using it. Okay. And the reduce the infrastructure cost also 30 to 70% depends on you. So you need to manage it later. Next, what is DevOps? So DevOps means development plus operations. Okay. So for example, you are the developer. Maybe you are coming from Python or Java or Node.js background. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm the operation guy. So I should know it everything in the AWS. So these two things, one person should do it. But you are not going to write a code. Okay. But you should know how development is happening. If you know development how it is happening, you can able to convert it to Docker,
Operations.
correct. Kubernetes, you can able to deploy it. So the developers, they are going to deploy the code. Okay, they will develop the code. They will push to Git. Okay, from there, your work will be started. That is
Okay.
kind of operations. You are going to take
Okay.
care of it. Okay, so it is a culture, set of practice, and tools. The unit of the software development, like development means dev, IT operation means ops, DevOps. You can say it. DevOps means it is a development IT operations. And goal, what is the goal here? We can able to deliver the software faster with higher quality and less future, less failure. So earlier days, what is happening to build any of the e-commerce website? For example, right now, if you are able to see it, Amazon or Flipkart.com. So to build the the e-commerce website, they will take it like a 6 months, 1 year earlier days. Right now, it is not like that. Okay. So you build it locally, test it out. If it is working, just move on to the dev environment, then production environment. Okay. So it is very fast. It is going to be deployed. And core principles CI/CD means automated build, test, deploy, and IAC. IAC means it is an infrastructure as a code. This is one of the tool called Terraform. I'm going to talk about monitoring. We are going to use observe. So we are going to observe it in the DevOps, how it is working. So we are going to use it all these three tools. Next is I'm going to talk about Git. So this is a distributed version control, and it is a free and it is open source distributed version control system. Every developer has a complete copy of the repository, including a full history. No server needed to work. Okay. So this is Git is the one of the agent, you can call it as. You can install it in your locally, and you can try to create the folder, try to build the code and test it out, create the branches. So and you can commit it logs, You can able to branch the future branch. You can able to create it, check out whatever you want. You can do it. Okay. Once it is done, we are going to move to GitHub. Okay. So this
Oh,
is locally you are going to use it, Git. Okay.
yes, sir, I got it.
GitHub. So GitHub, what it will do, whatever you have done it in the Git, okay, locally, the Git it will push to your GitHub. So GitHub it is kind of a source. That means code you are going to push to here. So GitHub is a cloud-based hosting platform for the Git repositories. It adds a powerful collaboration features on the top of it. Okay. So in the GitHub, what are the things you can do it? Pull request, issues, GitHub action, many things are there. But only thing is whatever you have written in the Git, so you are going to push to your GitHub. Okay. The developer will push the code to GitHub. Okay. Then you can able to use from there you can test it. So he has tested locally, but you are going to test it on the Docker or Kubernetes. Okay. I'm going to show it to you how this GitHub, how to create the account in the GitHub account. I'm going to talk about later, and why we need to use it and how to use it. Everything I'm going to talk about. And Terraform. So Terraform is the infrastructure as a code tool. Okay, we can call it as a short IAC. So that it is going to be defined and provisioning the cloud infrastructure using the declarative configuration file. So this is one of the language. HCL is one of the language. So we need to learn it. Okay. So right now we are, if you wanted to create the any of the infrastructure, for example, EC2 machine. So we need to log into that AWS console. I'm going to show it to you one of the demo session, how we are going to create the EC2, everything once it's done. Later, we are going to write a code and we are going to create it. So you do not require to log into this AWS console to create the infrastructure. Got it right?
Sir, can you please repeat some Terraform?
So Terraform used is it is kind of a, we can able to use it for to create the resources, kind of a EC2 machine, like a servers. So
Okay.
EC2 means it is a virtual servers. You can call it as a servers. That is how you can remember it anything. So EC2 means it is a servers. Okay. If you wanted to create the resource, we need to log into this console. For example, here, this is the AWS console. If you wanted to create it, I wanted to go to this EC2 section and I need to create it. There is a launch instance, right? We need to
Yes,
launch
yes.
it. So no need to go to that AWS console. You need to just write this three code.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is
Then,
a code, right?
yeah. So you need to use it two command. One is for git Terraform init, Terraform apply. This EC2 instance, it is going to be created. No need to log into AWS console.
Okay, okay.
Everything can be possible in the via command line with the code.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But before doing this, you should know how to do it in the console side.
Okay,
If you
sir.
know how to do it in the AWS console, Terraform, it is going to be very useful. If you
Okay.
know this one and you do not know AWS console, how it is work, it is very tough because you don't know what is the input it is required. So that is why we are going to cover it AWS console. What are the resources we are going to create it later? We are moving to Terraform.
Yes.
So core concept, there is a providers. So there is a AWS, Azure, and GCP. It is not like only specifically for one cloud, multiple cloud. This is going Terraform. It will be using. And why do we use it? How to use it? I told you we can just install locally, and we are going to write these three things. So we are going to create the main.tf files, and we are adding the providers detail, which provider you are going to use it, and the resource, which resource you are going to use it. These are all the commands to create it. So this is a simple way to create the automation. You can call it as a Terraform is the automation, but nobody will,
Automation.
nobody will not tell automation. This we call it as infrastructure as a code.
Okay.
Okay, but you can somebody they'll say that it is automation because you are going to automate, right? So you are not going
Yes,
to do
yes.
it in the manual, right? So this is the automated way. But Terraform is a infrastructure as a code, or shortly you can call it as a IAC. Okay.
Okay.
Next slide, Dockers. So whatever we are running on the EC2 machine, for example, Apache web servers or Nginx web servers. So we are running on the EC2 machine. Okay, sometimes what it will happen. So there is a CPU memory disk will be there, right? So it is not consuming all the resources, right? So 50% of still it is not able to consume it. Then this Docker come into the picture. So what this Docker? So Docker packages the applications and all their dependency into the portable isolated units called as a containers. So developer what they will do, whatever to run the application, he will write it down. Okay, all it is in the, he will make it as a packages, right? He will just use the command called, for example, let me show it to you. So right now, right? So there is an example, right? From, so Node.js is a, they are going to use it, programming languages. They are going to create the app and they are going to create the package .json file and they are going to install the npm install. They will copy from locally whatever he has stored it, from you will copy to source to location. This application it is running on the 3000 port. Okay. Then he's going to use it Docker build command. It will build the images and he will just run it. Okay. So then you can able to see the e-commerce website in the locally and externally. So nowadays from EC2 to they move to Docker. Docker to next is Kubernetes. So without knowing this Docker, you cannot able to do it in Kubernetes. Okay, these are all integrated. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any questions on Docker?
No, sir, not yet. Still, we
Okay.
have to move deep on it, so I can get it out still.
Exactly. So the next one is Kubernetes. So what is Kubernetes? So Kubernetes automates the deployment, scaling, and management of containerized apps. It groups containers into the pods and manages their lifecycle. So Docker we are using for the to run the containers, but container directly we cannot able to run it in the Kubernetes. So I'm going to talk about what is this container, how to run it, how to build it later. Okay. And so in the Kubernetes, we call it as a pod. It is the smallest unit in the Kubernetes. And these are all the key objects we are going to talk about. And how to use it, how to write a YAML file. Again, these are all the YAML files. Okay, you should know it, how to write a YAML file, how to write a SCL. So you need to learn it. So there is official pages also. You can able to use it. So we call it as a this Kubernetes container orchestration tool. And Jenkins is a CI/CD automation server or automation tool. So what is it? So Jenkins is a open source automation server that implements the CI/CD pipelines. It watches your Git repo and automatically trigger on every code pushes. For example, so the developer is changing the code. He wanted to check that how his code is working, how the changes is happening in the front end. Okay, because maybe there is a futures he has to be added. For example, there is a big bill in there, right? So normally what they will do, the developer, they will add the new product, right? So they will add it automatically in the live only it is going to be changed. So there is no downtime, it is not required. That means continuously, this is going to be continuous integration, continuous delivery and continuous deployment. So there is no downtime here. So any person can able to change the code automatically. He can able to see the output. Okay. So this we call it as a CI/CD tool. Okay. I'm going to talk about the pipelines and the Jenkins file. Okay. If you are able to see it, there is a Jenkins file example here mentioned. So we
Yes,
need to
yes.
write it. These are all the stages.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to talk about like Java based application. I'm going to show it you how we can able to build it and how to create images, how to deploy into the Kubernetes in the EKS or KH. Okay.
Okay.
Next one is Prometheus. Is the metrics and monitoring. So whatever we have done it, we need one of the monitoring tool, right? To monitor it, what is going on. You do not know what is going on in the backend, right? For example, CPU, memory, disk, and application, what is the logs, everything you need, right? So we are going to use it third party, and it is a open source monitoring tool. Okay, this is going to be collect the scraps metrics from the your application and the infrastructure or the regular interval, like a 30 seconds, 60 seconds. So you need whatever the logs you want, how frequently, like 30 minutes means, or 1 hour, or 10 minutes, or 5 minutes, or 1 minute. So that you can write it in the scrapper, it will collect it. And how to use it? So here we have mentioned, right? So scrap interval we have mentioned 15 second, right? So every 15 second, this is going to be checks. Okay, and it will get the logs, metrics, everything, and it will push to Grafana. Okay, so
Mhm.
Prometheus using for the monitoring, and Grafana is used for the dashboard and visualization. So Prometheus, what it will do, it will just collect the metrics. So there is no visualization. I mean, visualization is very poor, but what the information it will get it. Then Prometheus, what it will do, it will push all to your Grafana. Okay, if you are able to see it, there is a Prometheus dot 9090. This data source we are going to add it in the Grafana. So all the metrics we can able to see it in the dashboards, like
Okay.
alerting panels, variables, many things we can able to do it.
Okay.
Okay, drag and drops. So this is like a visualization. For example, if you are seeing it in the stock market, so they'll show that how much percentage down, how much percentage
The graphs up and down.
yeah, everything can able to see it in the Grafana. But in
Grafana.
the
Okay.
Prometheus, you cannot able to see it. Good visualization, I can say it. Okay.
Sir, usually this Grafana dashboards and visualizations we use HTML, right? For this
The back end.
backend is HTML.
Yeah. Many
Yeah.
see if you are running on any of these things, okay, there is a back end, one programming language should be there. Okay,
Okay.
without programming languages, there is no tool.
Okay. Now
Okay,
where are we are using this Grafana as an dashboard.
exactly. So
We
front
can
end we are
design it.
seeing. Yeah, you can design it your own.
Okay. 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 Got it.
Okay, you can design it your different
Sir,
tool also.
as we are designing it, so the code language.
No, we are not doing, because our part is we should monitor it. That's it. We need
Okay.
to
Okay.
see the
Okay. Okay.
visualization.
I
So
got it.
coding is differently. So code it will come like a Java, Python developer,
Got it.
and
Got it.
Node.js. Those people they'll do it. There is a HTML developers also available in the market. Okay, they will take care of it. Okay, they will do it all the things. So you are the DevOps engineer. You should know the entire CI/CD tool to build the application and publish onto the market.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is
Sir,
the complete. Yeah.
sir, I'm sorry I'm asking like this. Sir,
No
may I
problem.
know the known languages to you means more than English? Are you
So
comfortable
which language
in
you are comfortable? You tell me. I'll speak.
Sir, no, I want to know. Actually, I'm comfortable in Hindi, English,
Okay.
Telugu. So,
Uh,
according to you, if you have any comfortable language, means your mother language or something, it
so
would
I'll
be
speak on Telugu. Okay.
okay. You can speak Telugu. Okay.
Yeah. If you want, I'll speak on Telugu.
Okay,
Because
sir.
you are coming from India, right?
Yes, sir. I'm from
You are
Hyderabad.
from
I'm from
Hyderabad.
Telangana, Hyderabad. Yes, sir. Telangana,
Telangana means
Hyderabad.
you should know Telugu. Am I?
Perfectly, sir.
Perfect undala. India, I know it.
And
You are from, if you are
means I'm from
settled in
Hyderabad,
Hyderabad.
right? Yes, sir.
Hyderabad
From
means you
Hyderabad.
should
Hindi
know.
also I'm comfortable, sir.
Hindi, Telugu, you should know. Okay. So if you have
Yes.
any questions, you can ask me in Telugu also. I'll tell you. That is not a
Okay.
problem. Okay. So here I'm going to talk about the complete DevOps pipeline. So what are the tools? So we are going to use it Git as a code commit, GitHub is
Okay.
a review and PR, Jenkins for the build and test, Terraform for the provisioning the infra, Docker for build and images, and Kubernetes we are going to use it deploy and scale. And infra we are going to use it AWS.
Okay.
And these are all the tools. We are going to use it when it is started. I think you asked right earlier. Maybe Grafana they are using Go language in the backend.
Okay. Go language is Google language, right, sir?
Exactly.
Okay.
So Java, HCL for Terraform, Ruby, C they are using for Git. Okay.
Sir,
AWS.
Sir, in this Jenkins, we are using Java language, right? So how
Exactly.
deep are we going to in this Java?
No, no, no. We are not talking about in depth. Okay. So as a DevOps engineer, you should know how you can able to generate the XML file, how we can able to publish it. That is what we are going to see it. How developer writing the code, we are not going to in depth because we are going to talk about only for the application level.
Okay.
The simple application, we will build it in the Java, we'll publish into the Docker, we'll deploy into the EKS clusters.
Okay.
Okay, any questions?
No, sir. For now, I'm clear, but we have to move on deeper if means not questions, but in deep we have to move in the CI/CD, Docker, Kubernetes.
Exactly. So I think we are going like a step by step. So we are going to talk about first is Linux and Windows and the cloud, then container, orchestration, then CI/CD monitoring. So this is the steps we are going to use it. And all the tools we are learning step by steps, and I'm going to show it in the diagram and I will explain it, the architecture diagram. Then I'll do the demo. That is what I'll do it. And I'm sharing the notes every day. Okay, maybe you cannot able to see the command, each command and executing in the Linux, it is very tough. So that I'll give the commands so that you can able to execute it in while doing
Sir,
your answer.
you will be explaining me, right? Sir, everyday classes is 1 hour, right? Everyday class is 1 hour.
Exactly. So
And
for weekend, 3 hours, I think 2 hours.
means weekend means Saturday and Sunday, sir. Only Sunday.
Saturday, see how you are comfortable. That is how we can able to do it. It is
Sir,
not like
actually, I have to say one thing. Actually, I'm a basketball player, sir.
okay.
So I am occupied in Saturdays, sir. Saturdays early in the morning I go for ground and I play basketball. So early in the morning, 6 to 9, 6 to 10, I'll be in busy in playing, sir.
We'll have a session in the evening, right?
Okay, evening means I'm available, sir.
Yeah.
I'll not be occupied.
So weekends 4 to 6, Saturday,
Okay,
Sunday.
okay.
Weekdays daily morning 6 a.m. That is what I got the information from the
Yes, sir.
team.
Yes, sir. 6 a.m. to 7.
Yeah, if you have any other slots also, if you are not, for example, if I am not available, I'll tell you that one more slot. If you have, you let me know your schedules. Okay. If you are free, we can connect it. Like
Early morning,
evening.
the best time, sir. No
Yeah.
disturbance, plenty mind. We can just
Yeah.
concentrate on our course.
Sure, sure. So we'll connect. I think from tomorrow we'll connect as same time, like 4 p.m. Then we'll talk
Okay,
about from Monday we'll join at 6 a.m. early morning. Maybe
okay, sir.
6:30 like that will be there. In the anyway we are connected with WhatsApp, right? The team they're going to update in the voice chats. From not able to wake up
Not
6 okay
అంటే ఇంకా నేను
6:30.
అంటే ఇంకేం కనెక్ట్ చేయలేదు సార్ ప్రియా మ్యామ్ చేస్తా అని చెప్పింది కానీ ఇంకేం చేయలేదు.
ఓకే వాళ్ళంతా చేస్తారు. అది ఏం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. ఏమైనా అప్డేట్ ఉంటే వాళ్ళు చెప్తారు.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే. సో
సార్
ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్?
ఫర్ టుడే ఇస్ ఇట్ డన్ మీన్స్ ఆర్ వి గోయింగ్ త్రూ బేసిక్స్
Yeah,
ఆర్
I'm
సంథింగ్?
going. I'm going to show it one demo session here. I'm just going to show it you how we can able to install the Apache web server and how we can able to see the content. For example, you wanted to. So for example, let me tell you that you have started the one of the company. You want to set up the Apache web server. That means e-commerce website you wanted to set up, right? Okay, how
Okay,
you are going to do it? So the normal startup companies they want they will write a code, they will give it to you. You need to manage it. You need to publish on the EC2 machine. They can able to access it from the browsers. Publicly, the e-commerce website should be accessed. For example, gold shop, right? You started small business. You wanted to I mean, the whatever the jewelry, everything it should be on the is portal. Anybody can able to select and purchase it like a Flipkart, right? Same thing you can also do it. But here, how we can able to create those websites and user can able to access it. Okay. So now I'm going to show it you how we can able to install the Apache web server and how we can able to access it in the EC2 machine. That is what I'm going to show it you. Any questions? If you have anything, let me know before going to the demo. I think you are not speaking, Charit. I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
able
Yes,
to.
sir. Yes,
Any
sir. Yes, sir.
questions till
No, sir.
now?
No, 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 no. You can, you can.
Yeah. So now what I'm trying to do, I'm going to create the EC2 server,
Okay.
or you can call it as a instance. You can call it as a server. Okay.
Okay.
Anything you can call it as a.
Okay, sir.
So I'll just mention it. The server name called web server, and here I'm going to use it Amazon Machine Image.
Okay, sir.
AMI. AMI means it's a Amazon Machine Image. So what is this Amazon Machine Image? For example, if you wanted to buy any laptop, so you are going to ask, right, is it Windows or Linux, right? So same
Yes.
thing here also. To build any of the application, most of the applications running on Linux only.
Yes, yes.
Only .NET application it is running on Microsoft servers. Remaining like a Java, Node.js, Python, everything it is running on the, like it can be Amazon Linux or Ubuntu or Red Hat.
Yes.
All are hosted on AWS, the Linux environment. So this image we is like we are going to use it Ubuntu. Ubuntu is one of the latest version is 24 versions.
Okay.
So this is who will give it this one. Okay, this is given by the AWS only. Okay, we can able to trust it. No, I don't wanted to trust this Ubuntu from the AMI. So I wanted to my own custom AMI. That is also can able to do it while we are talking about auto scaling topic. Now we stick on the official images and we are going to talk about instance type. So I think I told you earlier, while buying any of the laptop, so there is a configuration, right? Like a CPU, memory, right? So same thing here, you are going to select the instance type. So what is a CPU? What is a memory? Like here, I'm going to talk about CPU and memory.
Okay.
So I need only two virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM. So if you need more, you can just select it. You'll see all the things. Till you will get a 230 GB memory also.
Okay.
So my requirement, I need a smaller one. I'm going to select it only smaller one. So the next one is keeper. So without keeper, should not able to log in any person. Okay. So that is why we are going to create a keeper. I'm going to show you to create a keeper in the live session. And networking, I'm going to talk about networking later also. How we can able to create the network, subnet, and security groups, everything. So now I'm going to select by default everything. And the storage, I need only 8 GB is fine for me because the OS is lightweight. And if you need 100 GB and 200 GB, you can add it. I'm just running here launch instance. So this is going to be create the EC2 server. If you're able to see it, web
Yes,
server,
sir. I
it is
can.
running and it is initializing. So this will takes only 5 minutes to bring up.
Okay.
So once it is, our server is ready. So how to log in it, how to install the web servers, right? So there is a connect option, right? You need to
Yes.
select
Connect
it,
option.
just click it, connect. And here there is a EC2 instance connect, and you will see that by default username Ubuntu. No need to change it because this is by default AMI, it is included Ubuntu. Just connect it here. So this will be connecting to your EC2 machine. Now, before installing any of, okay, are you able to see it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So before installing of the web server, let me use this public IP I'm able to access it anything on this IP address. Okay. So I'm not able to see anything, right? I'm not able to see any Apache website. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to execute two commands here. So one is for apt update. So sudo apt update is a command to the latest packages it is going to be updated, and it will upgrade of any of the component if it is required. Just hit enter. This is going to be run. So whenever you are doing first time, just execute these two command. Otherwise, you will get an error to install it any of the packages. Maybe Maven, Python, and any of the things. These two command mandatory for when you create a new servers only.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now the installation is going on. Let's wait. This will take some time to update
Okay.
it. So these are all the manual way we are doing. Okay.
Okay.
Once we have done these are all the things, we are moving to Docker and Kubernetes. From there, how can able to do it? Okay, because without knowing this, you cannot. If we are learning Docker and Kubernetes, you will not get to know how we can able to build the application right from scratch. So now I'll be installing the Apache. So once if I hit enter, it will start installing, and you can just go to the URL here, whatever, just refresh
Yes,
it.
yes.
Automatically our default Apache website it will come once its installation is done. So now it is done, right? Now just refresh it. Are you able to see it?
Yes, sir. I
Now
can.
you are able to see it only default. But I want like a kind of a website. I'm going to show it in the live session. The e-commerce website or any yoga classes, live webs e-commerce or any of the Flipkart direct, how we can able to see it. Okay. The live session I'm going to talk about. So these are how we can able to install the Apache web server, all those things. Any questions regarding
No, sir.
about the course? Before that, let me talk about course content. So I'm going to share this course content. I'm going to cover this all the AWS. I think I missed it to send it Git and GitHub. I'm added here. I'm going to share all the things, all the
Okay.
content it is available. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. The same content, whatever I'm showing in the demo, in the slide, these all the contents I'm going to cover it.
Okay, sir.
And maybe I'm going to add it like I did not add it like a Java, Python,
No, no,
those
no.
things I did not add it. Those are all it
Yes,
is
sir.
required while doing the Docker containers.
Okay.
Okay. So this content I'm going to share it with you.
Okay.
Let me know if you
Sir,
have any questions.
and
Yeah.
just want to have a normal talk with you. So the
Okay.
major reason I've chosen this DevOps course is I have zero interest in coding right now, sir. I have tried my best. I have given my best, but I have not means I have showed interest just for 1 month, and after that I've got zero interest in the coding. I tried my best, but I couldn't given it. And I had a research, so I went through this DevOps. I asked my friends. They said that yes, DevOps is a good side. It has an headache, but for a non-coder, it's the best thing. They can go on it. I got an information, so I got onto this, sir. So that's the main
Okay.
reason I got into it. And
Let me answer you. Okay. So if you are not interested on the, for example, Terraform, obviously you need to write a code. There is no option. Docker, obviously you need to write a code. Kubernetes, obviously you should write it. Jenkins also you should. But if you learn only AWS cloud, there is no coding, only operations. Okay, like EC2 instance creations, S3 bucket, networking. Okay, if non-coders, AWS cloud is good, but with so after 4 year, 5 years, you should learn this GitHub, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes.
Sir, nothing like that, sir. Not coding means not at all coding. I have an interest of basics, sir, not in deep. I am not ready to perform code on my own. As I have seen this demo class, you have shown me
Hmm.
Terraform and 4 to 5 lines of code, right?
Correct.
If I go on it and learn it, I can do it. And
Ah,
as far as I have an idea on Terraform, there are nearly of 30 codes, right?
correct.
30 codes and more for different services, right?
Exactly.
And for an EC2 instance, we have in 3 to 4 lines of code. And for an IAM role, we have three to four of lines of code. And whereas it comes to Docker and Kubernetes, I don't think that coding is going to be in that deep, just with the basics.
No, these are all not the coding. Coding is different, but these are all the languages. Like YAML is one of the programming.
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay,
But
JSON.
uh, just confirm me one thing, that this YML and this all codes are not
Ah,
similar to Java. They are a bit tough, but I can learn. Not a bit tough
ah,
as Java.
Java is very tough. Python is very tough. Node is very tough because they should know entire code, not
That's what,
only
sir.
languages. Yeah.
That's what, sir. This, sir, I went for coaching classes when I completed my inter. I went for C language classes, sir.
Ah,
Before I started my graduation, BTech, I went
mm,
for C language classes. I've completed my C language classes.
mm.
I have idea on C language, and that kind of languages I'm ready to do. And even I have interest on Python, sir, because Python is an easy language, and even I know basics of Python. If I again rush myself, I can go through Python. But I'm not at all interested in Java, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm, I think we are not going to talk about, see, Java, Python, Node.js, these are all taken care by, development persons. Okay, the
Yes,
coders, they will write a code, they will push to GitHub. So from
yes,
there, we are going to take it. We are not going to touch any of the codes.
yes,
They will do everything. But you should know
yes.
these tools, how to create the Docker files. See,
Oh,
these are all, I'm going to show it to you while session is started.
okay,
Okay, how we can able to learn it. There is official pages available. Okay,
okay.
lot of there, but I think you said earlier it is Java is very tough to learn it. Okay, these are all, if you put at least 1 or 2 years, at least you can able to learn it, all the things.
I'm even aware of Linux, sir.
Yeah, if you are aware it, like basic commands, that will be good. That,
Yes, I'm
see,
even aware
if
of
you
Linux.
become a DevOps engineer, the basic is Linux, because we are going to run it everything on Linux platform only.
Yes, 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 sir. I have idea.
Yeah. So basic command should be know it at least in the Linux.
Yes, yes, yes. Sir,
So
there's
don't
nothing like
worry.
that. Sir, there is
Yeah.
nothing like, as you have said before, there's nothing like that. I'm going to only learn AWS. I'll learn everything. I'll put my
Yeah.
full efforts.
Mm.
I'll give my best.
Yeah. You try it because you are just now you have completed your graduation, right? So it will take anyway times. Okay. At least 6 months you will get a time, right? So in the meantime, you can able to learn all the tools.
Okay, sir.
Okay, if you know at least basics, commands, portals, what is this tool? Okay, that is sufficient. Okay,
Okay,
nobody will
sir.
not hire it to directly a DevOps. So as a
Yeah,
DevOps engineer,
got it.
minimum 5 years should have experience.
Got it, sir. Got it, sir.
Yeah, if you wanted to build CI/CD tool for one application, it takes time.
Got it, sir.
But live is different, and here
Got
is
it, sir.
different because we are sometimes we are not going to touch some of the
As an as an as an
yeah.
fresher, they are going to give us just some load, not as an 5 year experience, 6 year experienced worker, right?
Exactly. See, some of the CACD I cannot skip. What DevOps engineer doing, same thing. I'll show it to you. I need to show it to you. Okay. But you
Yes,
cannot able to do it from your own.
yes,
Because
yes, yes.
if we get any error, where it is coming the error, you will not get to know.
Yes, sir.
Right. Because while giving the demo or the session. So I need to prepare it myself. It should not get error. If you get error, that is kind of a troubleshooting steps again.
Yes. Got it, sir.
ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు ఏమైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే ఈ ఈ ఈ ఈ టాపిక్ మీద యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్ మీ డైరెక్ట్.
ఇప్పుడైతే
ఓకే.
ఇంకేం డౌట్స్ లేవు సార్ నాకైతే
ఇప్పుడు
క్లియర్.
లేదు, ఇంకా ఫ్యూచర్ లో వస్తుంది.
షూర్ సార్,
ఓకే.
అడుగుతా సార్, అట్లేం
ఓన్లీ
లేదు.
సి వేర్ ఎవర్ యూ గో, వై, వేర్, హౌ, దిస్ థింగ్స్ యూ షుడ్ నో, యూ షుడ్ ఆస్క్.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఎందుకు ఇది ఉంది, ఎందుకు డిఫరెంట్ టూల్ యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, అదంతా ఫ్యూచర్లో అంతా వస్తుంది.
ఓకే.
But at least if you are learning these tools, you will get to know is a coder or non-coder end of the session. Okay, I'm
Okay,
sure
sir.
this is the non-coders only.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay, but some different languages will be there, not kind of a Java or
ఎస్ గాట్ ఇట్ సార్, గాట్ ఇట్ సార్.
yeah. So that is what today's session, and maybe tomorrow I'll talk about AWS cloud. A networking
Okay.
part I'm going to start it tomorrow. I'll just because this is very important. So first I'll start with VPC.
Okay.
Okay, so that later we can able to learn like a EC2, because without networking we cannot create a EC2. If I'm start
VPC
VPC,
virtual
it is a
private
virtual.
cloud, right?
Exactly. Without this, if I create it, you will not get to know what is this VPC, subnet, everything. First, I'll start with networking, then EC2, then later one by one. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to show share the content with you, maybe with the team. They'll share it with you.
So
Okay.
means tomorrow's content you're going to share with me, right? If not,
No. End of the session, I'm going to share.
okay. This session notes are you going to send me? If not, tomorrow sessions are you going to send notes?
Tomorrow session. This is just for demo session.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Tomorrow onwards, I'll share the link also. The whatever the command or architecture diagram, everything
Okay.
I'll share it with you tomorrow.
Okay, sir.